We're now live. We are now live. We are now live. Here's Well and Here. And what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Live Beyond Average podcast. Number 4 here. We are also podcasting with Austin and his Perform Right podcast as well. So a little double podcast.
We've got a lot going on. We've got podcast live video. And get on our level, please.
That's awesome, dude. Hey, you know what? It's just really trying to make it easy for anybody on whatever platform. We don't want to inhibit anybody from being able to see this, you know? So
absolutely.
That's the biggest key. Today's subject is pretty cool, actually. Well, they're all cool.
They're all awesome. But I think this one touches home a little more than usual for us.
Yeah, so I wasn't even planning on podcasting this. I was just on Instagram, and I made a post the other day about how training has little to do with the physical benefits.
Yep.
And Austin jumps on, he's like, dude, we podcasting that this week? And I'm like, yeah, actually, we probably should, because, you know, if you look back at our careers over the last 7-8 years of what we've done, and how many clients we've helped over the years, which is a lot.
It's a lot.
I would dare to say into the thousands.
I would
with clients.
It's close. Yeah.
And what we've seen so much of is how the training and health, how little at the end of the day it has to do with the physical benefits, which is the original goal, what is what everybody steps into the gym to accomplish. And it really has little to do with just that. So
it's kind of funny because when Jordan made that post on Instagram, first off, that's kind of how we communicate since we don't see each other every day. It's kind of, we bounce things or we get ideas and we talk to each other about them. But prior to his post, I had posted something on my Instagram. I had posted a video, and it's on my podcast as well.
Yes.
On Perform Right, where I was talking about you're worth more than fitness, and basically what Jordan had posted yesterday, it was building kind of off that same concept.
Completely.
Because with social media nowadays, it's huge and it's evident. I have people I looked up to, you've got people you look up to, and we want to try to accomplish things similar to how those people have done. That's just, I think, kind of human nature, but it gets to be a bit of a problem. I think people tend to lose sight on the importance of fitness. And they tend to put themselves on a pedestal of the people that they're wanting to aspire to be like. And I can understand that to a certain respect, but I think it's taken too far sometimes, and people lose sight of that fitness, like you said, is more than just physical.
Yeah, and I used to, even for years, being a high school athlete, a college athlete, a post-college athlete, trying to train and figure out how to stay competitive. My biggest thing was, and same with you as a bodybuilder, as a professional bodybuilder, as a professional powerlifter, so much of what we started and set out to do was for the physical benefit.
Right.
And we've learned that over the course of years, especially for me, getting into, from post-college athlete to now training to be, my goal switched over to be in shape. I did the bodybuilding thing for a little while, and then, getting into training for the outdoors, which I've been doing since I was in high school as well, but really taking it a little bit more seriously, to now, especially after having kids, figuring out that very little motivates me when it comes to stepping in the gym and just thinking about the physical benefit of it.
Right.
There's very little motivation there. Just to PR on a lift, or just to look really good, or to have six-pack abs.
More than having the aesthetic look or the performance side of the gym, because that's a lot of what people go to the gym for. We go to the gym to look better. Hey, what's going on, guys?
I haven't wrestled, man, but great question.
We go to the gym to look better, feel better, perform better. That's really what we do, and there's a lot of different goals that people have, but no, I think you hit the nail on the head, and I have a similar, I think, story to where it started off, okay, no more college sports for me, now what?
Right, exactly.
And I had to find something to keep me going, like what it is, and then I picked up a different type of a competition, and then through the years, same thing. Kind of found that it actually has little to do with that. I don't know, I think of both you and me, like the people that we've been able to help and the people that we've met, literally because of fitness, you and I met.
Right, and it's over the years of how many people that we've trained, done nutrition for, a very common thing. Every once in a while, we'll get somebody that comes in that's like, I just want to be healthy, and you're like, wait, what? This is awesome. Like,
Yeah.
perfect. I love that goal.
Yeah.
I love that. I want to feel better. I want to be healthier. I want to live longer. Because usually, a lot of people come in and they're like, I want to work on. I want my glutes to be better. I want to get six pack. I want, I have a vacation coming up and look good, which is great. Those are all little motivational things to help us get there. But usually along the way, one thing that me and Austin have found that has been very similar is that after so long of a time that we get to work with these people, and I'd be curious to know if other trainers across the country, across the globe, have the same experience, or if it's a specific type of trainer, what it is. But something that has been so similar for our experience has been that after so long of that client training with us, they typically reach a point where they start understanding health and fitness in the long term. And that the habits that they're doing, the habits that they're changing, the lifestyle that they're creating is purely for the long term and not just for that vacation in 8 weeks. And that's when we have truly seen such great success with our clients for the long term. It's very typical nowadays to see a post of somebody who maybe steps on stage for a show or gets ready for a vacation and they look phenomenal, but only to see them in 3 or 4 weeks post goal to really have rebounded poorly and not look the way they looked before,
or just quit in general.
And so I think a little bit of that is our mindset. I like to hope really translate over to them. Show me a picture. That's cool of your show day, but Austin, show me a picture of you 2 years past your show day and how healthy you are.
And
and
not just physically, mentally as well.
And that's really what we're getting at with this, is that the mental side that you can establish and grow and build a foundation with the training is really the benefit of training and working out. It's phenomenal, the difference.
It is
in what you grow.
No, I agree 100%. I think you have agreed with this as well, but I'm trying to go back right now and all the people that I've helped, and I know most of the people that you've helped as well, because we have discussions and we converse on different training techniques and methods and stuff. So there's not a lot that I can say that whenever they've achieved their goal, whether it's CrossFit or completing a hunt or bodybuilding show, powerlifting, whatever, that quit. Like once the goal's done, they just quit. Like they've never worked out again a day in their life because they had negative thought process. It was almost as once they accomplished the goal, they have figured out, like you said, the same as you and me, is kind of like, okay, well, we found this thing to get us into fitness.
And to get us to a point.
But now we know that there's so much more to it than that. Like, we can still enjoy that. Like, if, I don't know, if I'm training someone for a powerlifting competition or you're training someone to get ready for a hunt, like, that's things that they enjoy doing, and now they realize that they don't need to have a competition to necessarily do that.
You don't have to have an end goal.
Right.
To have a reason to eat a little better.
Right.
To learn how to eat a balanced diet.
Yep.
To learn how to have daily activity.
Mm-hmm.
There doesn't have to be a bodybuilding show, a hunt, a vacation to do those things.
No.
It's just learning how to live the right way.
Right.
And that right way is our opinion. But our opinion is I want to live longer, be around with my kids longer, be active with my kids longer, be active with my grandkids longer, and live a long and healthy life.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say that's the right way.
Yep.
I'd argue that. And so the benefits that we're receiving from that go far more than just physical, but they start even tapping in to the mental, obviously we just covered.
Yep.
And very importantly for us is the spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
What we can focus on and the spiritual self-awareness that you can get out of training is really unparalleled, in my opinion, to what I can get elsewhere.
Exactly. You're being fed something completely different than you would elsewhere.
Right. Because when I'm training and when I'm alone, or when I'm training with a partner or alone, my best thoughts are always happening. My deepest thoughts are always happening. My biggest self-awareness and calling out my own crap happens when I'm training.
Yeah.
And it's the exact same way for our clients. When we're with a client and you're pushing them, you know, there's no escape from the actual, you know, figuratively speaking, weight of life and the literal weight of life, because you're moving actual weight, and then you have your figurative weight of all your stresses, right?
Yeah.
Your home life, your relationship life, your financial life. All those things can be bettered off because of how you learn to respond positively to moving the literal weight in life.
Sorry, I kind of got goosebumps when you said that, because I literally just thought of something. I kind of think that the reason people do have that goal is because they have so much stress in their life. They go see something that's attainable for them for fitness. They end up training for that goal because it starts to create better lifestyle habits for them. They start to feel better internally, that they kind of, I don't know if it's necessarily forgetting about those stresses, but they feel better about the stresses that are being placed on them in life. And so I think that's why when people do achieve that goal, some people get lost and they quit, because they're like,
that's a very good point.
I've gotten such routine to this and everything was feeling great. Now everything's not going so great, but they didn't know how to adapt after said event. You know, like someone training for a big hunt, and now all of a sudden it's like, well, I have nothing else to do, so I'll just take some time off from the gym or whatever. And, you know, it's 1 month before I go hunt, I'll get in shape real quick.
Right.
Like, my point is, I think that a lot of people do that. They pick a goal to get through some stresses to make them feel better internally, and I think that's kind of the difference, as well as in, you know, people that we've worked with. They've started to see that, okay, it's more than that. I've worked through a lot of stresses. I've accomplished what I've done here. Now I know I can accomplish those outside stresses that, you know, were really affecting me. You know, it's kind of like, it's like the mental development of achieving that goal has like transferred over to, you know, mental toughness in those stresses of life.
Right. Yeah, because what are you doing in the gym, right? You're building a physical toughness, but in order to, when you reach those boundaries of fatigue, the physical toughness has little to do with it at this point. Now it's the mental toughness. How far in your mind can you take it and continue to keep moving and training? And that, you know, we've been saying that since before we even started Run to Gun season.
Yeah, serious.
That you just lost your live.
I just lost my live.
No, we've been saying
that's
that.
all right. You can go up. People can check out the Instagram.
And we've been saying that for years on how, and you know, we're not the first to say that by any means, of how the training establishes a different style of toughness mentally in your relationship, in your career, what you're able to accomplish in those other fields of your life.
Yeah.
And those things are completely transparent and noticeable to your boss, to your wife, to your girlfriend, to your coworkers, all those things, because you're different.
Yeah.
And you're different in this very weird strength way. And that's what we all want, right? We're all striving for attention, in the sense of, if you're thinking about social media, if you're thinking about your career, whatever it may be, or you're trying to build a relationship or find a girlfriend to marry, and whatever it may be, we're all striving for that attention. You know, we're all fighting for that peace. And this is one way to make yourself different. Yeah.
You mentioned something too, like when you're not feeling it in the gym. Now it's more of a mental thing. I think that's where a lot of things develop, because you develop patience. Well, loosely, I'll use that word right now. Patience and discipline.
Okay, we can get into that.
And I say discipline because, like, you've made it a discipline to get to the gym consistently, even though you don't feel like it. And that relates to, I'm just not in the mood to deal with this life situation right now. But then you just develop that. Okay, you don't want to go to the gym, but you make yourself go to the gym. That's great. You have now developed a healthier habit mentally.
It's part of your day.
It is part of your day.
It's no longer, I gotta get to the gym to hit chest because I have a physique show coming up, or I have hit my PR for powerlifting. There's gonna be segments of that that you are doing a specific goal, and that's fine. We're not talking down about that.
No.
You're a professional bodybuilder and powerlifter. That is part of your routine.
Right.
But
there's
you would do those things anyway,
right?
Whether you had a show coming up or not, because you have trained for years and years without the intent of a stage or a platform.
Yep. And if I'm not feeling it, I'll try something different, and like that's okay. Like
you did. the Murph with me.
Right. I don't run.
Yeah, you should.
I ran.
Yeah, Austin
Like,
does.
it's okay.
I mean, if you watch our Run to Gun TV training series that is out there, a lot of those style of workouts isn't Austin's way of training.
Not all the time.
Not all the time. He does throw it in there, but when it comes to the amount of frequency compared to how that being the way I train,
Yep.
not near as much. And he still comes in and usually beats me, has a better time, typically, because honestly, Austin's mentality and when he gets fatigued, what he's able to do when he hits those barriers and those lines of where I starting to slow down and wanting to stop, he's able to continue. That's why we're such a great partnership in what we do, because his continuation is longer than mine. Why do you think I surround myself with him? Why do you think that I want to be his friend? Because he's part of my very small inner circle of people that allows me to achieve more.
And the feeling's the same. Like when I'm working, I'm trying to chase Jordan. I know that he trains like that, so I don't want to embarrass myself, especially when we have
Right.
especially when we have cameras filming. Like I'm not gonna ever quit. Like you won't
Right.
ever see me. I've said this before. I'll die before I quit when it comes to anything like
And
that.
he's not joking.
I'm not kidding.
No.
And so, but that's the mentality that we have developed, both of us. We have developed that with life. Like we will physically, like, you know, it was because of fitness and how we met. It's because of fitness that we're at where we're at right now, and we're not even where we want to be. We're not even close, but we're getting there.
Right.
But because we've developed those mental disciplines and getting through the gym and getting through those hard sessions, we've came up with that mindset of like, we will not quit until we succeed at whatever it is we're doing, and we try to instill that.
Right.
To even if they're not our clients, they're friends or like whoever we're around, we try to instill that in them, because that's kind of the whole purpose of this, is like we're trying to teach people like there's more to just physical benefits and fitness, and it's really the mental benefit that it can create. Now again, earlier, like I said, like I'll use that kind of word loosely because, you know, there can be some extremes, of course, where people are like, well, I have to do this, I have to be like this, and it's like that's okay. That's fine to have that discipline, but just, you know, don't take it to an extreme where it's going to affect your personal life either. Like Jordan was saying, like I go through a lot of the same workouts because I need to do them for my goals, but I'm not gonna freak out.
Right.
If it's like, hey, let's go do a CrossFit workout. Okay, like it's not the end of the world. There's
Hey,
7 days a week.
Burger?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Like you have to find that balance, and that's where that physical training helps you establish that mental edge and that mental strength to find that balance within yourself, to find that self-awareness, and to start calling out your own crap and BS.
Yep.
I mean, it's the biggest key. Once you can do that, you're going to find yourself really starting to flirt with the wild of living a life beyond average.
Absolutely.
And it gets pretty dang awesome. It's
It does.
phenomenal. So starting to close this down here, we've been rocking for 18, 19 minutes here.
Yep.
You know, our biggest message is that as you're looking into living a healthier life, as you're striving to live a life beyond average, remember that physical preparation and the training is a big part and is needed in that life, but the reward isn't always physical.
Spiritual and mental.
It's spiritual and mental. That's what takes everything to the next level. That's where you start flirting with those lines of stepping outside that linear confine of average, what we talked about.
Right, and not just in the gym, in everyday life.
Exactly. So, hey, thanks for tuning in, you guys. You can find this podcast on Run to Gun as well as Perform Right, Austin Kjergaard's podcast. Check it out. Share it with your friends. It really means a lot to us when you guys are tuning into all of our lives, when you're tuning into our podcasts. Share it, give it a 5-star rating if you really like it. If you don't, that's cool too.
Yeah.
But we appreciate you guys.
Absolutely.
And until next time, we'll see you later.
See you guys.